Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're going to explore what it takes to build a successful online business.
Okay, sounds good.
You shared this YouTube interview with Harry Dry,
Yes.
the founder of Marketing Examples and Copywriting Examples.
Ah,
And honestly, his story is so inspiring. He went from quitting his web design job
well,
to follow his passion and ended up building this thriving online community.
yeah, it's really impressive.
I'm really curious to unpack his journey and see what we can learn from him.
Me too.
What struck you about Harry's approach?
You know, what immediately struck me was his focus on quality content. He believes in creating truly valuable resources that help people,
Yeah.
rather than chasing like fleeting trends or resorting to clickbait tactics.
Right.
That really resonated with me.
It makes you wonder,
Yeah.
in a world obsessed with going viral,
Right.
why would someone intentionally avoid SEO tactics?
But-
I mean, isn't that how you get discovered?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
Harry actually sees it differently. He believes that focusing solely on SEO can lead to creating content that's optimized for search engines,
Okay.
but not necessarily for actual human beings.
Right. Yeah.
You know, it can feel forced, even inauthentic.
Yeah.
Instead, he focuses on building genuine trust with his audience by providing real value. He believes this approach leads to more loyal followers who appreciate the depth of his content.
So it's more about building a long-term relationship with your audience
Exactly.
rather than chasing quick wins.
Exactly.
Hmm.
And it's a strategy that seems to be working for him.
Yeah.
But to really understand how he got here,
Okay.
let's go back to the beginning of his journey.
Okay.
It's actually pretty unconventional.
All right, let's dive into that.
Okay.
I know he started with some pretty unique ventures,
Yes.
like Yeezy Dating,
Uh,
a dating site for Kanye fans.
yeah, that was one of his early projects.
What can we learn from that?
Well, I think the key takeaway from those early projects is that Harry wasn't afraid to experiment and try different things. He was clearly passionate about marketing and finding creative ways to connect with people.
Oh, okay.
These experiences, even if they weren't all huge successes,
Right.
helped him discover his love for marketing and ultimately led him to where he is today.
It's interesting how even a project like Yeezy Dating,
Yeah.
which sounds more like a fun experiment,
Right.
could provide valuable insights into marketing and audience building.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think that's a great lesson for anyone starting out. Don't be afraid to try things, even if they seem a bit out there.
Yeah.
You never know what you might learn from the experience.
Yeah.
It's all part of the journey.
It is. It is. So after those initial ventures, he took a web design job.
Right.
I'm guessing that wasn't necessarily his dream job, right?
You're right.
Yeah.
He's very open about the fact that he took that job primarily to move out of his parents' house.
Okay.
It was a means to an end.
Yeah.
But even in that role, he was constantly looking for ways to learn and grow, which eventually led him to create Marketing Examples.
That's where things really started taking off for him, right?
Yes. It's a brilliant concept.
Yeah.
A curated gallery of real-world marketing examples.
Yeah.
And again, he deliberately avoids any SEO tricks or clickbait headlines.
So how does he attract visitors if he's not playing the SEO game?
He focuses on providing incredible value.
Okay.
He handpicks each example, often highlighting specific numbers and results to make the learning tangible and actionable. Think of it like a masterclass in marketing,
Okay.
but instead of theory, you're getting a behind-the-scenes look at what's actually working for successful companies.
That sounds incredibly valuable for anyone trying to learn marketing,
Absolutely.
especially if you're more of a hands-on learner like me.
Yeah.
It's one thing to read about marketing strategies,
Right.
but seeing concrete examples with real results, that's where the learning truly clicks.
Exactly. And that's why Marketing Examples became so popular. People were drawn to the practicality and authenticity of the content.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
It's very appealing.
Yeah.
So Marketing Examples was a hit.
It was, yeah.
But then he launched Copywriting Examples.
They did.
It sounds like he was really passionate about this project.
Absolutely, he was.
Yeah.
Initially, his goal was simply to rank high on Google for the term copywriting examples.
Okay.
But it quickly evolved into something much bigger.
Hmm.
He poured his heart into creating what he calls the world's best copywriting resource,
Wow.
filled with meticulously chosen examples and in-depth analysis.
It sounds like he goes beyond just collecting examples.
He does.
What makes his approach so unique?
He breaks down each example,
Okay.
explaining why it works
Right.
and how it resonates with the target audience.
Okay.
Think of it like having a master copywriter whisper their secrets in your ear.
Oh, wow.
He's essentially demystifying the art of persuasive writing.
That's amazing. But I'm curious, did he have a detailed business plan for all of this?
Right.
Or was it more organic?
What's fascinating is that copywriting examples wasn't born from a calculated business strategy. It stemmed from a pure passion for the craft.
Okay.
It's a great reminder that sometimes the most successful ventures come from following your genuine interests
Right.
and letting your enthusiasm guide you.
It's so inspiring to see someone build a successful business around something they truly love.
It is.
Okay, so he's creating this incredible content,
Yeah,
but how is he actually getting it in front of people?
right.
I know he's a big believer in email lists.
Yes. He understood the power of building an email list from day one. Initially, he experimented with sending out emails multiple times a week,
Okay.
but eventually settled into a weekly newsletter format.
It sounds like he was figuring things out as he went along.
He was.
Did he share any insights about his email strategy?
He emphasizes the importance of focusing on conversion rate optimization,
Okay.
which essentially means maximizing the percentage of people who take a desired action, like signing up for your email list.
Great.
It's not just about attracting visitors to your website.
Okay.
It's about converting those visitors into loyal subscribers.
So for someone building an online business,
Yeah,
conversion rate optimization should be a top priority.
absolutely.
Okay.
Harry shares a really interesting story about how he tweaked the copy on his website's pop-up form and saw a significant increase in his email sign-up rate.
Wow.
It's those small changes that can make a big difference.
Do you remember what kind of changes he made to his pop-up?
He focused on highlighting the value proposition.
Okay.
Instead of just saying, sign up for my newsletter,
Right.
he made the benefits clear.
Okay.
Something along the lines of, get weekly tips and insights to grow your business.
It makes sense. You need to give people a compelling reason to hand over their email address.
You do.
So with all these subscribers,
Yeah.
wouldn't you consider that a community he's built?
He actually has a really interesting perspective on this.
Okay.
He believed that his large subscriber base is an audience, not necessarily a community.
Interesting.
He focuses on delivering value through his content and emails, but doesn't feel the need to cultivate a formal community with forums or Slack groups.
Why do you think he avoids that more traditional community approach?
He sees the word community as a bit of a buzzword
Right.
that's often overused.
Okay.
He believes in focusing on providing value above all else. And if a sense of community emerges organically,
Right.
that's great, but he doesn't force it.
I appreciate his honesty. It's refreshing to hear someone push back against the pressure to build a community just for the sake of it.
Exactly. It's about focusing on what truly matters.
Yeah.
Providing value to your audience.
Speaking of audience,
Yeah.
how did Harry go from 0 to over 85,000 subscribers?
Yeah. That's incredible.
It's incredible.
It was a gradual process,
Okay.
with each milestone feeling like a huge win for him.
Yeah.
In the early days, he actively participated in online communities,
Okay.
shared his content across multiple platforms, and tailored his message to specific audiences.
Okay.
He was very strategic about reaching his target audience where they hung out online.
So it wasn't just about creating great content. It was also about knowing how to share it effectively.
Absolutely. You could have the best content in the world,
Yeah.
but if no one sees it,
Right.
it's not going to do you much good.
Yeah.
Harry understood this from the beginning
Okay.
and put a lot of effort into promoting his work.
It's inspiring to hear that he started from scratch
It is.
and built this massive following. It
Yeah.
shows what's possible with hard work and dedication.
Absolutely.
What other strategies did he use to grow his audience?
Well, he's a big advocate for creating one truly excellent piece of content per week rather than churning out average content every day.
That's an interesting approach. It seems counterintuitive in
Yeah.
a world that's constantly demanding more content.
Right.
Why do you think he prioritizes quality over quantity?
He believes in giving each piece of content the time and attention it deserves.
Okay.
He compares it to a musician releasing a highly anticipated album.
Okay.
You know, they don't just throw out a bunch of random songs.
Right.
They carefully craft each track to create a cohesive and impactful experience.
So it's about building anticipation and creating something truly memorable.
Exactly.
Mm.
And I think that resonates with people.
Yeah,
We're bombarded with so much content these days
it's true.
that it's refreshing to come across something that's truly well-crafted and thought-provoking.
It makes you want to savor it,
Yeah.
like a delicious meal,
Right.
rather than just scarfing it down.
I love that analogy.
Uh-huh.
And speaking of taking the time to do things right,
Mm-hmm.
Harry openly admits that he delayed the launch of his online course because he wasn't satisfied with the initial version.
That's really admirable.
It
It would
is.
have been easy to just push it out there
Yeah.
and make some quick money. But he chose to prioritize quality, even if it meant missing deadlines.
Yeah, shows a deep commitment to his audience
Yeah,
and a willingness to put their needs first.
for sure.
And it's a reminder that setbacks and delays are a normal part of the process.
Absolutely. It's reassuring to hear that even someone as successful as Harry makes mistakes. He also mentioned a failed attempt to create startup gifts.
He did.
What happened there?
He realized that trying to capitalize on a trend
Okay.
with a product that wasn't genuinely valuable
Right.
ultimately didn't align with his core philosophy.
So it's a good lesson in staying true to your values
Yeah.
and focusing on what you're truly passionate about. It sounds like he's learned a lot from his experiences.
Yeah, it's-
Both the successes and the failures.
Absolutely. And he's incredibly generous in sharing those lessons with others.
Hmm.
He's always emphasizing the importance of focusing on what matters, building a strong email list,
Yeah.
optimizing conversion rates,
Right.
and creating truly exceptional content that stands the test of time.
He mentioned the ice cream truck song as an example of timeless content.
He did.
What was that about?
He used it as an analogy to highlight the power of creating something that resonates with people on a deep level.
Okay.
The ice cream truck song has been around for centuries.
Wow.
It was actually written by Henry VIII.
Really? I had no idea.
Yeah, and it's still instantly recognizable and beloved today.
That's a great example of how something simple
Yeah.
yet well-crafted can have a lasting impact.
Exactly. It's not about chasing fleeting trends.
Mm.
It's about creating something that genuinely connects with people
Right.
and stands the test of time.
So after this deep dive into Harry Dry's world,
Yeah.
what's the biggest takeaway for our listener who's trying to build an online business?
I think the key takeaway is that success comes from a combination of passion,
Okay.
hard work,
Mm.
and a relentless focus on providing value.
Yeah.
It's about finding your niche,
Okay.
creating something truly remarkable,
Right.
and building a genuine connection with your audience.
And don't be afraid to experiment. Learn from your mistakes and constantly adapt your approach as you grow.
Absolutely. One final nugget of wisdom from Harry.
Okay.
He suggests focusing on what he calls the founder's note, the story behind your company,
Right.
but placing it strategically at the bottom of your webpage.
Why at the bottom?
Yeah.
Wouldn't you want people to see that right away?
He believed that people first need to understand what your product or service is
Okay.
before they connect with why you created it.
Okay.
Capture their interest first.
Right.
Then draw them in with your compelling story.
It's about balancing practicality with passion.
Precisely.
Well, this has been a fascinating deep dive.
It has.
I've learned so much from Harry Dry's story.
Me too.
And I hope our listeners have too.
I hope so.
It's inspiring to see someone follow their passion
Yeah,
and create something truly valuable.
absolutely.
Thanks for joining me on this deep dive.
It was my pleasure.